Oftentimes they are true heroes, putting themselves out there first and not having really, sometimes not anything to come back to themselves.
Right. I remember flying into Hurricane Ivan years ago in 2004, and the pilots on board and a lot of the meteorologists on board had homes where that storm was hitting. And so it was kind of, pretty sorrowful for these guys watching this storm and kind of reporting on it, but yet it was still causing a big impact up there in Alabama. I tell you what, we are looking at a very warm water temperature, and that really drove the storm, Michael, and did the intensity. We need a couple of fronts to move through the Gulf, at least cool it down below that 80-degree threshold, and then we won't have the potential for those massive storms like that. But it's still 80 plus across most of the Gulf. Here's what's going on with the Van Wezel webcam showing a few clouds moving in late this evening and a few very light rain showers. A little bit of a frontal boundary to the north of us, and the proximity to that front, and they're bringing a few clouds around. Not the best sunset, and we had a couple photos sent in. Not a lot, but a couple, and there were some good ones. Just a glimmer of sunshine there, as you see. James White on Bird Key getting that photo that we see right there. And here are the weather headlines. Warmer overnight. We talked about this earlier. Storms possible on Friday, and a weekend cool down anticipated. This is Hurricane Wilma. It made landfall just before 9 p.m. our time, right there into west central portions of Mexico as a Category 3 hurricane, 120-mile-an-hour winds. You'll notice it's already starting to lose some of that punch as far as the winds go, and it continues to move to the northeast. It'll be a very serious situation here with heavy flooding, mudslides possible. This moisture will work its way to the northeast and actually kind of get incorporated in this system right here that's developing. A low pressure area will develop, and this moisture will be kind of incorporated in that. And Texas, unfortunately, which is already saturated with the heavy rains last week, gets inundated by that leftover moisture or the remnants of Willa. And you can see for us, we'll see a pretty decent day here. Partly cloudy skies, not a lot of rain chances for us. And then a little bit of moisture moves in along the east coast on Thursday morning. The low pressure tracks off to the east and northeast and intensifies some big storms over the lower Mississippi Valley. And the attendant cold front will eventually move through our area. We may even have a prefrontal rainfall. That happens mainly late Thursday night and into Friday as the front works its way through. It'll be a slow-moving trough, too, so we'll have a chance for a few showers even on Saturday. Then the cooler and drier air starts to move in. And we heard about they may need some heat up here soon. They will, especially midweek next week when low temperatures expected to be down in the upper 40s there in the parts of the panhandle of Florida. But right now that frontal boundary exists right over the northern Gulf of Mexico, and that low pressure area is right there in the northwest Gulf, just off the coast of Texas. A Titan radar picture, although it looks like we're getting rainfall here, most of it is evaporating before it reaches the ground. Some showers are around. There's a possibility of a few sprinkles overnight, but not a lot. Tomorrow's forecast, we're calling for a mixture of sun and clouds throughout the day. High temperatures will be close to seasonal averages, but you'll notice a little higher humidity, and we'll start off a little bit warmer than we had into the low 70s. We've been in the 60s the past couple of mornings. Well, here's the European forecast model showing that low pressure tracking and becoming a nor'easter. All sorts of headaches over the northeast United States by Sunday and Monday. We'll see cooler weather filter in behind that front, and another front will come through on Tuesday of next week. Those winds will stay out of the east on Wednesday, and then Thursday the same, switching around to the west-northwest on into Friday and Saturday. We'll see about that red tide, see what happens with it. Again, the forecast continues to call for this system to move over Mexico and then eventually get into the Gulf of Mexico. For boaters, nice tomorrow, but the boating's going to get a little rough going. On Friday and Saturday, more than likely small craft advisories will be issued for our waters. There'll be a light chop in the bays and inland waters. The forecast tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 86, a couple degrees above average. The lows will be warmer too. Then notice these lows. On Sunday morning, 64 as well on Monday, and 62 on Tuesday. That'll be nice. Jacqueline?
All right, thanks, Bob.